All right, this is a story of my very first deal, how much money I made, and what are the mistakes that I made. So if you're new to the channel, my name is WHOLESALE. I'm a real estate investor. I wholesale houses, fix and flip, Airbnbs, and long-term rentals, and I run a team here out of Miami, Florida. All right, so let's get into the story. So it was a cold summer, actually it was a warm summer day. It was Miami, 2013. I was struggling selling cars in my family-owned car dealership that I was supposed to take over, and I hated that freaking job. But I saw this thing called wholesaling real estate, and I started listening to podcasts, just searching like how to sell, how to buy houses with no money, with no cash. And I'm like, I qualify for that. I have no money, so let's get the show on the road. And I was following one guru on a podcast, just like you're probably listening to me or someone else, and they were talking about sending text messages through Go Section 8 website. So that's like a little ninja trick. And so I started doing that. I started sending text messages to Go Section 8 landlords, asking if they would sell their house. And one person actually said, sure, I'm a property manager, but I'll ask the landlord if he wants to sell. So here we are. I was on the phone with him. He said, all right, what's your best offer? And I just really quickly look at Zillow. I'm like, all right, this house is selling for 120 grand. And all right, I'll offer 60,000. He said, okay, just send it to me in writing. So I send him an email with it. And all of a sudden I get a fax back 2 hours later through the freaking fax machine, an offer signed at $61,000. It took me months. It took me about 3 months to get that first deal. Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of text messages, 2 homeowners, 2 landlords talking to people before I got this contract signed, sent to me through the fax that I had to like dust off from my mom's house. And long story short, I was pumped. And then I'm like, oh shit, like this is where the game starts. I got this signed, but now what am I gonna do with it? How am I gonna make a profit? I have to find a buyer. This is what the podcast says. This is what YouTube says. This is what I gotta do. I gotta find a freaking buyer for this thing. And I go out and I was following another guru. I was following a bunch of gurus. I'm trying to get in the game. I'm 21 years old, trying to figure this thing out. So I'm following everyone I can that's doing this. And I'm following someone else, and they had said to find buyers on public records using Zillow. So I went on Zillow, I found people that bought houses nearby. I reached out to one, and they answered the phone, and all of a sudden they put their partner on the line, and we made a deal happen 2 days later, which was incredible. And the total profit on that deal was a whopping $6,000. So a little bit smaller than I'd like. It's a lot smaller than the deals we do today. But at that time, that money meant everything to me, and it got me going. And that freaking catapulted me to do 1, 3, then 100, then 500, and 700, and now we're here. But that was the story of my first deal. So what did I do wrong in that deal? Well, a lot. First of all, it took me 3 freaking months. So and I was working full time. I had quit the deal. I had quit my other job. I said, I'm doing wholesale. I hadn't even done a deal yet, but I said, I'm gonna do wholesale, and I'm gonna do it full time, so I quit. So 3 months full on, living in my mom's house, in my little bedroom with an IKEA desk in the corner. That's where I was doing shit. So I was doing a lot of things wrong from that little IKEA desk. But here's some of the lessons that I took away based on the things I did wrong. Number 1, I was not getting on the phone with landlords enough. I was just sending text messages, and I was trying to like reply and do a deal through text, trying to negotiate and do everything. It's hard for that to make work. So if I were looking back, one of the mistakes is I would have gotten on the phone with these landlords faster. I would have texted them and be like, hey, let me call you. Hey, let me call you. And I would have just been able to get on the phone. Number 2, I wasn't getting their emails or anything to send them more contracts, to send them more offers. So a lot of mistakes I made. I probably could have done 3 or 4 or even 5 deals if I would have sent offers to everyone I spoke to. But I only really sent 1 offer, and luckily I got it signed through the grace of baby Jesus. But I got that, and if I were to do something different, I would have sent more written offers. And the third one is, I just wasn't trained enough to talk to people. Like, I was doing the best I can. I was listening to gurus, but I didn't have a script in front of me. I didn't have like an exact step-by-step process. I was just trying to figure it out. But looking back at it, I probably would have had like a process written out of like, all right, you text a lead, then you call them, then you say this, then you say that. And basically in our business now, we have a 10-step process that I, throughout the years written out. So I didn't expect to have that from the beginning. But if I were to go back, a big mistake I made was just not having any process. So that's why it took me so freaking long to get that deal. Look, this was my first deal and there was a lot of mistakes, but it was also a huge reward for me and hopefully for you. But if this is something you want to do, if you want to start buying more deals, if you want to make 5 figures on a deal or start making 6 figures every month like we are in our real estate business, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. You can check me out there and follow us for more tips and tricks so it can help you get to your goals.